Hello and welcome to Modern Toyfare News, the weekly show that talks about toys. Now, due to Michael finally realizing that his beloved Mezco figures are simply just Ken dolls dressed up or playing dress up, he's decided to sadly leave his life of toys behind and take up gardening as a new hobby. So, with that being said, I'm your host, the founder of the Neca Illuminati, the YouTube now widow, Mrs. Modern
Aw,
Toy Fair, the one and only Jamar_Games, and I am totally joined by Modern Toy Fair, or the man who has. I'm already messing up
I'm
with that
loving
much.
it. It's good.
I am joined by the man Modern Toy Fair has majority custody over, which means me, because you're now kind of like my
You're
son.
on Modern
So
Toy Fair.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. I'm your ward, as it were.
Yes, you are one of the hosts of the Figuratively Speaking podcast. Of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Nate. What's up, dude?
What's going on?
Oh, not bad.
An exciting week.
It has been an exciting week, and I mean, for a lot of reasons, really.
Yeah.
I just think I realized something. I gave a little sneak peek of what's happening starting up here new, so I'm gonna bump that back over. I was already in
Oh.
the side by side toy view, so if you saw that, you got a little sneak peek. Also, I was joking about the Ken dolls. I mean no offense to Mezco fans, but Michael he's no longer with us on the show at this moment. He's still alive, so but yeah, he is here in town where we live, so we got to see him, which was cool. But
Yeah, it
now
was.
he let the reins over to me and Nate to record this. So yeah, this is gonna be a dumpster fire more than it normally is. So
Hey, I'm into it.
but just because he's gone doesn't mean we can't continue the show and continue the tradition of starting off the news like we always do with the one and only Mcfarlan. First up, we have a new 2-pack that was shown off in preview solicitations of the White Knight Batman with swords and Azrael, which includes some cool flame effect diorama pieces. And this 2-pack is actually set to hit retailers in October. And I hope you're seeing this beautiful thing. This is the sneak peek that everyone got, but I just have to say, like, these flame effects,
Those are so sweet.
those are so cool. Now, you're kind of like the computer when I talk about toys, because like have all the knowledge. These have already been out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. These are reused, but the flame effects look brand new, so like that looks different. So that'll be pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, McFarlane reuses sculpts a lot. I I don't mind it. It's not for everybody. I mean, if you want to be a completist, that's on you.
Yeah.
That's your fault, nobody else's. So anybody else just gives people another opportunity to get the figure, or it gives people, if they really like Azrael, I know there's people out there that for whatever reason do, they can get extra versions and
Yeah.
get the awesome swords and yeah. So never have a problem with the reuse, especially because it's not like in a wave where you're like you feel forced. Like I never like it when it's like a re-release of something that we just got, like if it's in a build-a-figure wave or something like that, because then you feel kind of duped. But this is totally fine. Like if I don't want it, I just don't get it.
Yeah. Pretend it never existed. But of
Yep.
course, if you do want it, you can get it in
Yeah.
October, which is pretty awesome.
Yep. Yep.
Which I think that's the cool thing with sometimes with the reuse, like of the modes, you get like more frequently, but you also kind of get an announcement. And you can get it sooner because it's not like, oh, we have to do retooling or anything like that. You kind of get
Right.
a little quick announcement and quick figure, which is always kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, sadly, if you're not a fan of reusing the sculpts or re-releasing a figure, this next one's gonna probably rub you the wrong way a little bit. But Todd revealed a recently teased McFarlane store exclusive 5-pack collector's edition of the Last Night on Earth figures with the Bane as the Build-A-Figure in a special collector's edition box. So this retails for $125, and that will be shipping in October as well, except for next year in 2022. So this is like obviously completely just repackaging everything together.
Oh,
This
yeah.
Build-A-Figure wave that was already kind of a little bit of a, I'd say, shelf tag warmer, but still pretty cool. I like this
Yeah.
idea.
I mean, I like the idea of it. This isn't going to take up any retail shelf space at all. In fact, it's just going to be at McFarlane's store. So if you happen to miss out, although I'm not really sure how you could, considering you could probably get most of these last week at GameStop for like $8. But it is the packaging is very cool, very dynamic. Love the way it's all put together. I think it's funny that it's more than if you bought the figures separately, because I
Yeah,
think those were like as build a figures. I think they're 25, so you're like $25 for the box and stuff like that. Which it's fine if you like that sort of thing. It's very cool packaging, and again, this is totally a way for for fans to buy something neat. It's as an exclusive, it's so not necessary because you most likely already have
yeah,
those figures. It's
it is.
so it,
I agree with you. It's like a good move, and honestly, this could be like against the grain, but I like this idea so much so that like I would love to see maybe Marvel Legends or Hasbro doing this with like the Marvel Legends line,
yeah,
because it is sometimes hard. I mean, I just recently got one of the figures in the line in a Build-A-Figure, a crucial Build-A-Figure for me that took me a while to get it, and I just happened to get lucky. So like it would be cool to package everything together. This is really
mm-hmm.
neat too. I mean, the photo that he gave is kind of like really small, but it's a cool just display. So even if you're an
Right,
inbox collector, this is better than having the each individual boxes. Plus, you don't have the Build-A-Figure all put together at that point. So I'd say kudos.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's very cool. Again, not taking up any crucial space anywhere. It's an online exclusive, so it's a neat way to do it.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I like this a lot. So, hey, any other manufacturers out there watching, this is a cool idea.
Yeah,
But maybe not charge more than what it would be to get all the figures separately. But I understand. I understand. Just breezing through McFarlane. This is another one that I'm kind of like hoping you have a lot more insight on. But lastly, McFarlane has announced that they're having an expanded relationship with DC and Warner Brothers, signing a global licensing agreement to take over the recently scrapped DC Direct, or formerly known as like DC Collectible line. The press release states that McFarlane will continue to market and sell current and upcoming DC offerings under the McFarlane Toys. So the DC Direct will still continue to produce high-end favorites or fan favorites such as DC Designer series. Got to talk about that. Batman Black and White, and then Harley Quinn Red, White, and Black. Um,
yeah.
I don't know how to react to this because it just sounds like it makes sense. I would have already
Yeah,
assumed
no,
McFarlane had right?
well, this is awesome because I mean, DC Direct and DC Collectibles did make action figures, and I don't think that's really what we're looking at. Although they may, I kind of saw the writing on the wall a couple years ago at Toyfare when Todd was first taking over DC. They were in a joint booth with DC Collectibles, and they were, Todd was talking with the guy, and I was like, something's going on here. And then when DC Collectibles was completely shut down, that was kind of surprising because that's where they did a lot of like the statues, the smaller size, the larger size. They were doing all kinds of stuff, and like the Black Man. Oh my God, Batman. No, Batman, Black and White. So you can see where I made the mistake.
Yeah.
So Batman Black and White, that was a series of like smaller style statues, and the same with the Harley Red, White, and Black. So like they were literally either black and white, artistic style statues, or the Harley ones were all just black and white and then red, and they were all done in different artist styles and things like that. So the idea of McFarlane, using his name and that power to move things forward for DC Collectibles, because I know that that was a major like bummer for when they announced that was closing down. Yeah, Todd was going to keep making action figures, maybe not to the same extent that DC Collectibles was, or really, I don't know. Todd's doing a better job, I would dare to say. But there was definitely a void left by not having those statues, because I know people who are statue fans. I do have a small amount of those Harley red, white, and black statues, and they're really well done, depending on who the artist that it's modeled after. So it's really cool to hear that that's going to be something that's going to continue on.
All right, that's cool. I guess that makes sense because when I'm reading on red, white, and black, okay, that Harley, obviously, yeah, makes sense. So what's the DC Designer series? Is that like Gucci, Batman?
No, well, it was way more expansive than that. It was, a lot of it was though still more artist inspired. So Aunt Lucia did that Bombshells, DC Bombshells, and so they were all done in like that 1940s pinup style. And so they all look very, so like they did a lot of statues of those. So they're like larger style statues, and they were done in that artist style. And those were a lot of the designer series and stuff. So yeah, like even more great stuff that, you know, Todd can help get made for a different audience.
That's cool. So I mean, this is actually really a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
just to get,
it's great
more
news.
things out. Yeah, that's really cool.
Because DC's made some weird decisions over the last few years. I mean, you know, the whole DC Universe thing, and then folding it into HBO Max, and then shutting down DC Collectibles, shutting down Vertigo. I mean, there's been kind of a lot of blows to DC fans, and it's nice to see something nice kind of kick back into it.
Yeah, I mean, that's smart for McFarlane's already basically focusing on figures and so like give that to them, let them take care of it. That's pretty cool. So overall, pretty solid week for McFarlane.
As always.
As always, that is very true. But next we got to talk about the manufacturer that we love to love, but also like we love to hate, and that's no one other than Neca. So first we have some amazing final packaging solicitations for the black and white Frankenstein's monster. And I mean, every single time I see this thing, I'm like, I don't need it, but I really want it.
I gotta say, I opened up the color version, which really, I mean, in hand, there's not a lot of color there. I mean, it's close to black and white as it is, but yeah. I was gonna get just the black and white ones, except that they said that they weren't gonna make them all, and so I didn't want them to be mismatched. So, but I just recently opened up the Frankenstein's monster figure, and man, is it an excellent figure! And the black and white one's only gonna be that much better. So if if somebody was only going to get that one, the black and white one is the way to go. And I just watched the movie last night. I honestly I hadn't probably seen it since I was a kid. So some parts were really familiar, but other parts were not familiar at all. And I was impressed. I mean, for a 90-year-old movie, man, it's still pretty entertaining. So
yeah, that's awesome.
And the monster was pretty horrifying, to be honest. I mean, I can't even imagine in 1931 and seeing that, for the first time. I mean, I would have been totally freaked.
Yeah, I guess it is something that we kind of take for granted. Like, you just look at this and you're like, oh yeah, Frankenstein. Yeah, he's on cereal boxes and everything else. But yeah, that would be pretty terrifying to see for like that first time. That's awesome.
Yeah, and the makeup effects are still really impressive.
Yeah, and I mean, it comes through here and like the still from the film. Like, I just like that. And now, since you have the color one, I don't remember seeing the inside. I remember picking it up, just looking at the figure and debating on like, do I need this? And I put it down. Right. And I went back and it wasn't there. But I think you might have got it. I don't know. But yeah. Does it still? It has that still on the front, like the still frame, the photo on the inside.
It's let me see if it's got the exact same. Yeah, it's not in black and white though. It's in color.
Okay. I just like the contrast between the figure and that, which that still like holds over in the color version, which is pretty cool too. Yep. So I like that. But yeah, I don't need it. I really don't need it.
Yeah.
I get it. We can move on to something else that I don't need, and I think Michael is excited about for some specific reasons. But we also had some solicitations of the Station Survival McCready, which shows off this, again, badass like flamethrower that looks so good. And this one does something different with the inside as well. It's just the stance of the figure. I kind of like looked at it for a second because I almost thought it was from the movie at some point, but it's just that the figure looks that good, which is kind of impressive.
Yeah. I don't need this one. It's not that much different from the Ultimate one, except that he's got the flamethrower. Yeah. So I think it's great though for anybody who, again, this is awesome for people who love. I mean, I love the thing. And maybe I'll regret it when they start releasing like monsters and stuff, and I'll want to put the flamethrower effect with it. But the figure itself is not really different enough. No. So this is definitely an accessories thing. So this is more Michael's forte. Yeah. If he really wants that, because I know he really only wanted the other one because of the whiskey bottle and glass. So I don't know if he just wants the flamethrower out of this one or what. But he needs to find a cheaper hobby to get miniatures. He needs to just start going to like doll places.
He needs a 3D printer is what he needs.
Yeah.
So he can just print out his accessories. But so that's just legitimately the only difference between these two, which we've seen before, but it's the flamethrower. It doesn't.
Great reuse. Yeah. It helps get. I mean, if he's gonna if Neca's gonna release 4 McCreadys and then we get some awesome actual creatures from the thing, then I'm all for it. I'll be patient. I'll wait.
Yeah, not mad at it. Always cool to have
Yep.
some extra cool stuff. I mean, speaking of cool, if we can't talk about NECA without talking about, Turtles. Although,
Yep.
not Turtles. We did get the solicitation for Turtles in Time, Pirate, Rocksteady, and Pirate Bebop, which out of all of the three that we just saw, this is the only one that has like available like release date information, which is April, of course, April 2022. So
It got pushed back that far?
I'm assuming that's what Mike put April, release it in April. So I'm assuming it has to be 2022, right?
Because it was originally supposed to come out this year. So I don't, yeah. If we're wrong on that one, we're wrong. But yeah, these have been pushed back a lot. So,
I mean, NECA has been, at least for the Turtle line specifically, a lot of things have been kind of getting moved around and released on a little bit later than what it was initially, to release. So, I guess that makes sense.
Right.
But this line in itself, I only really have Donnie, and I got Donnie and Slash was what I kind of got just to represent this line, but I haven't went down the rabbit hole, mainly because it is primarily outside of like these here, they're mostly just like, Art Deco and that style, like the 8-bit style. So cool, but like I didn't want to go down another rabbit hole with NECA. So
yeah, I don't blame you. I'm not getting these either.
Yeah, they're cool, but like.
Yeah, I don't need them. If you're a big fan of the game, then great. I thought the original set was amazing, but that was the first time that we got any kind of NECA, Turtles in the modern way, with the exception of the Mirage. So I was super excited, but I like them. They're fine. I just don't need them.
Yeah. I feel like we're making great headway of like admitting to ourselves that we don't need it until it comes out, and then we're like, all right, so I bought it. Yeah. But yeah, oh, go ahead.
I think we're about to get into a whole mess of stuff that I'm not going to buy. We'll see. There's only, I know what we're about to talk about. And there's only a few things in there that I'm going to be interested in. So,
well, let's not tease the folks anymore. We're going to close out the news, which I feel like maybe we're just kind of breezing through. Maybe it was a light news week. Maybe
we're having that good of a time.
But this one to me is honestly the reason I was so excited for this week. I can't say I don't need a lot of these things, so I'm sorry, I don't have the willpower, but we'll close out the news with Hasbro. They basically had a very, very busy week. Actually, a couple of weeks, really, because this is kind of a culmination of a few different things. But, of course, let's just start out with Marvel Legends. They showed off a lot of pretty much all of it. I don't know what I mean, a lot of it, but all of the Marvel Legends What If wave that is coming. And starting right off the bat, I'm going to have to skip around through these ones here because this is a lot, so I won't go one-on-one on this. But we had Zombie Captain America. We had Captain Carter. We had Heist Nebula, which actually, now that I realize that, I'll still flip the photos and then we'll just kind of come back to them. So, yeah, Zombie Captain America. Then we had Captain Carter, Heist Nebula, which looks really cool. T'Challa, Star-Lord. Oh, God. Doctor Strange Supreme. Then Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. I need more details on this. And then of course Sylvie, which kind of just got lumped in there. So we'll go over those three, that section out of the way. We'll kind of like talk about this and break this down. The What If series, which is like 6 days away from where we're at right now. I'm super excited about this because it's such a really, really cool idea. And I'm just like, excited to see this in like motion. Out of this line, I'll lump like Sylvie into that. What are you like kind of holding off on, or is it something that you're like must have in this?
There's definitely some weak ones in here. Like Heist Nebula. I'll be, if she plays a crucial part in the show, I think I think she might play into the Star-Lord T'Challa episode, which that might make it more, because I'm interested in that one. I definitely need to know more information about Zombie Hunter Spider-Man.
Right.
But I like it. I like the look. Captain Carter blows me away. I think that one looks awesome. Yeah. Like those are my favorites. Like the Doctor Strange and Nebula are probably my weakest ones. T'Challa, I'm like, it's a simple looking figure, but at the same time, I kind of dig the Star-Lord in the purple coat kind of thing too. So like
you're kind of right where I'm at on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I'm definitely I put these on pre-order because I feel like I'm gonna love the show. So
Uh-huh.
then if I don't, I mean, I can instantly cancel them, no problem, no harm, no foul. But I don't want to miss out on this if I end up loving it as much as I think I'm going to.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think these are going to be pretty fun. I don't know how well they're going to necessarily do because while Star Wars Black has always like kind of adopted, like when they take animated characters, they've kind of adopted that realistic look.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas these, much like
Yeah.
the Into the Spider-Verse figures, have gone for more of an animated style. So they don't quite fit into the MCU stuff, but that's okay too.
Yeah, that was the one thing of like, okay, maybe this will help me not want every single one of them, right? Zombie
Right.
Captain America was one that I saw like, okay, this is cool. I like this
That
from,
thing's just cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
like not even from the What If series. What was there was a zombie comic now I
Oh,
can't
Marvel
remember.
Zombies.
Yeah, it was Marvel Zombies. It just reminds me of that and just kind of got me
Yep.
excited just from that alone. But then I think the biggest offensive one, I'm gonna switch over to it's T'Challa. I keep going back to this one. This is where you can really tell, like what you said, it's going for like the animated style
Yep.
versus the realistic. So it does as much as it. I just love everything about it, and I'm into it. It feels like more toy, which is weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Yeah,
if any
because
of
like
the other ones have that. That
well, like
well,
Captain Carter is a weird one because you can see the animated look, yet it still looks like Haley Atwell really well.
yeah, that's
So
true.
I don't know. I don't know. And and then the Hydra Stomper, which I don't think you mentioned. I don't know
Oh
if they were
yeah.
going to wait on that one.
No,
That
let's
kind of
just get
goes with
into
it
it.
because that's like the
Oh yeah, how
from
do
what I understand, like that's what Captain Carter like rides
yeah,
on.
right. So I just completely left that one out of it. How I wrote
Well,
that
because it's
down.
not part of the wave.
Yeah,
It's
that's
actually a
fair.
separate figure. So
That's
it's
right. Which completely failed to mention that the Watcher is the Build-A-Figure that
right.
will be in this whole wave. Which I don't know. That doesn't really do too much for that. So that doesn't like drive me to really want to get all of them. So that helps me a little bit.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because it's definitely this what if version of
Yeah.
the Watcher. It's not a classic style, but I also kind of dig that too. I mean, he looks really cool. He looks like he's going to be really large.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like kind of gonna make it worth that build a figure style. So I don't know,
Yeah.
but we haven't gotten a regular Watcher. The closest thing we've got that Marvel Select one that's being re-released, and even so, there's been multiple Watchers. So if you get one, you can kind of have the other, and
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, it would
make them
make
both
sense.
work.
Yeah. If you definitely want the representation, that's like a perfect
Yeah,
opportunity. It's just helpful a lot of times when that Build-A-Figure is
right.
like something that is not like really calling you. So you're like, all right, I'm good. I'm good
Yeah,
there.
yeah. The Sylvie is a weird. It's just like they didn't know what else to do with it.
Yeah. They're like, crap, we didn't put her with like the DCU like movie or the TV show line or the Disney Plus line, but
Yeah,
we kind of have to make her. Like you just have to have
yeah,
Sylvie at this point because of how popular she is in the show. So they're like, I don't know, just throw her
yeah.
here.
Yeah, I thought she was going to end up being an exclusive because Mobius is going to be a Target exclusive.
That makes
So I
sense.
thought, oh, Sylvie's going to end up at Walmart or something
Yeah.
like that. But no, she ended up in this wave. So
Well, which
I'm not mad that she's not an exclusive. I'm not.
yeah.
Please don't get me wrong.
My only concern though is literally just like what you kind of said. Since she's not really exclusive, she's kind of thrown into the wave. How hard is she going to be to find? Considering we have so many other in that wave, that scares me.
Yeah, or is she going to peg warm? Because by the time this wave is scheduled like not until like February.
Oh yeah, so that's
So this is a ways away to go, and the show's going to be done. I don't know. Maybe we'll be excited for season 2 by then. I'm not sure. I don't know when they're going to start that again. So
That's fair. That's fair. I guess I should follow up again because we already showed like the Hydra Stomper, which in itself is awesome. But we also got 2 other Marvel Legends. The Walgreens exclusive Binary, which I have right here. It looks pretty cool. And then retro carded Tigra, which pretty dope. And now Mike did put on here, he specified all of these will be available on Entertainment Earth, of course, in the link below, except for Tigra, which is shipping this fall. Maybe Tigra is shipping this fall and then the rest are later. Deciphering his notes He's gonna love
Binary is a Walgreens exclusive.
Yeah.
So that one's going to be a tougher one to get because we haven't even seen Nova or Quasar for the Walgreens exclusives.
Yeah.
So
I have not yet had anything. I mean, I've casually just browsed, Walgreens. So I haven't had to do like a Walgreens run or add that to my list of rotation. So is it pretty tough with Walgreens in general, or
lately the last few have been not easy.
That's not good. Yeah, because I don't think you can order things from Walgreens website, right?
You can every once in a while they'll put them up.
Oh, okay.
You can order them. That's how I got the last one, which was the Dark Silver Surfer. I had to order it. That one in the Moon Knight I had to order online because I never did see them in stores. And I have like 12 Walgreens.
I know there's so many.
Like a 5-mile radius, and I can't find them ever.
That was my concern. Is like, well, if there's so many Walgreens, what are the chances of actually finding this?
Right.
Now, the main question, I'm sure everyone's wondering as well, not just me, but could you get like, your healthcare to pay for these figures? Does this cover under healthcare since it's at Walgreens? If you just
I think
the pharmacy,
you could probably,
right?
if you use your HSA card, it's going to go through.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just giving you some lessons out there.
I'm not saying don't.
Just make sure you buy, like some Tylenol or something with it, and it'll go right through. Yeah. Don't take financial advice from a podcast on YouTube.
I wouldn't do that.
We got that kind of excitement out the way. I'm wondering if this is up your alley. I feel like I know this, but I don't know this. So Ghostbusters is going to be getting a new wave of the Plasma series for the upcoming Ghostbuster Afterlife movie. I'll pop one of these. They pop this up here on the screen. So I'm going to read these. Now, mind you, I have not watched the trailers because I know I'm going to watch the movie. So I've been avoiding trailers. So I don't know a lot about this, but this includes Trevor, Podcasts, Phoebe, Lucky, and older versions of Winston, Vikeman, and Ray. There's also going to be a Build-A-Ghost figure of the Sentinel Terror Dog, and you should start hitting shelves in the fall. Now, I kind of thought Mike was fucking with me with these names because it's Trevor, Podcasts. Is that really one of the characters' name?
Apparently.
Okay. I need fact checked. I don't know if he's just messing with me to see if I'll read anything and if this is right.
No, I believe that is correct.
Okay. I'm assuming it's one of the kids, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, does this line do anything for you?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So yeah, I did the Matty Collector Ghostbusters back in the day. Mm-hmm. I did whatever company I think that released like the retro style ones. I did the Diamond Select ones. I ended up doing the Plasma ones when they went on clearance. This is gonna sound crazy. I get it. I like Ghostbusters. I do. Yeah. I think the first movie is amazing. I personally don't acknowledge the second movie as even existing. I just do not care for it. That's on me. I'm not judging anyone who loves it. I know there's a huge following for it, and it's great. For me personally, not for me. Mm-hmm. The cartoon, though, the real Ghostbusters cartoon that was on when I was a kid, I thought that was great. I wish there was more stuff done with that rather than what they tried to do. So, yeah, I like Ghostbusters a lot, but toyetically, if it's not real Ghostbusters, it doesn't do much for me. At the end of the day, it's just dudes and now kids in brown jumpsuits. And honestly, we literally have old guys and kids in jumpsuits. And I'm like, even if this movie is fantastic, I'm good.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. And it's just one man's opinion, So that's very fair.
That's just me. I hope it does very well. I hope it's very successful. They got kind of screwed because these should have been out last year when the movie came out. So, I mean, Hasbro's taken a beating a lot like other companies. Oh, yeah. But with these shuffling movie, schedules, I mean, they got totally, boned on Black Widow.
Yep.
They got it on Snake Eyes, now Shang-Chi, and I think the same here.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they are going to get them out in time now to line up with the movie, but, it should have been out last year, and so the Plasma series kind of died an earlier death than it should have on retail shelves, and it's going to be hard to make a comeback, even with even if the movie's great. I think it's going to be tough to move these as toys.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, just nostalgic alone, it would be worth getting like the 3 old guys, you know,
right?
If you have kind of, I don't know, just a, I don't want to say like a before and after, but sort of like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that would
no,
be
totally.
would be cool on the shelf display. But yeah, the idea of the kids, it's got to be, it's going to be for like those mega fans out there. Like I'm assuming Wes is going to be into this line because he, you know,
and
loves,
that's cool.
loves
Yeah, he loves Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Yeah. So this would be kind of like a cool idea. But then I guess if you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the weird thing that I saw though is that the Phoebe one isn't listed as part of the wave or as part of the Build-A-Figure.
Oh.
And yeah, so it's like the 3 Ghostbusters, and then it's Trevor, Podcast, and some other character. I know. I assume Podcast is the little one. I have no idea if that's the case, but I just assume a silly name. It's the little kid. He's going to be the comic relief.
Yeah.
But like she's not. She seems like she's the main character of the movie.
Right.
Really, and hers is not part of the wave. So how is this going to be released? And is this going to be an exclusive somewhere? Because that's going to be weird. Because like I said, at least the trailers. Not, you know, you haven't seen them, and I'm not going to spoil anything. But she seems like she's the focus.
Yeah.
And also, no Paul Rudd. Come on, man.
That's true.
No Paul Rudd.
I mean, I'm
actually a podcast, but I don't get Paul Rudd.
That is very true. That is very, very true. That maybe there's some licensing there, or maybe he'll just be in the second wave.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's interesting. I mean, I do know that conceptually, I guess I should say I watched the first trailer. I just haven't watched anything, or I don't know anything else about it since then. So I do remember seeing Paul Rudd and popping for that. So that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
Where's Paul Rudd? Maybe Paul Rudd is
#. Where's Paul Rudd?
No, Paul Rudd is podcasts. It's just this is a time jump.
Maybe he gets.
It's a time
jump. No, but it's. I mean, it's the pod. Oh no. But I'm gonna have to like break out my Ant-Man figure and like put his head on some boring body that, you know, and so I can have one. Yeah.
Who body is fit best for Paul Rudd? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I've been, you know, kind of bearing the lead here with Hasbro.
Yeah.
We got to get to
you on this one.
Some very, very, very crucial, important news. So I would say last but not least, the biggest news of the show is we have, let me click this on here so you can see this beautiful shot while I discuss this here. We have some huge news about the Power Rangers cross the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles whole situation here with Boom Comics actually doing a Lightning Collection crossover with the figures. First, it was just day by day is essentially what it was. And every day I was like, yes. But for the first day, we got the 2-pack with Leo as the Blue Ranger and then Donnie as the Black Ranger. So good. I have to admit, initially, I saw these with the helmet on. That's the first like photo I saw. And I was like, oh, I don't know. This looks kind of weird. And then when I saw the photo with their actual heads on there, oh my God, I couldn't hit pre-order fast enough. Like, just, oh my goodness. Right after that, then we got Mikey as the Yellow Ranger with April as the Pink Ranger. Same situation there, just absolutely adoring these figures here. Then the next day, which I don't know, we'll just say the next day, we got Raph, who is of course Red Ranger. He chose that color. And then we have Tommy as a foot soldier, which really, really, really good. Actually, I kind of prefer his foot soldier head over his head, which is, it's so dumb, but it's so cool. And then at a very last minute addition, Michael just working hard, even on vacation, he went ahead and edited here for the amazing figure of Shredder as the Green Ranger. These are all, of course, available on Entertainment Earth for $52.99 for the 2-packs. Shredder is all on his lonesome for $32.99, and it looks like it's shipping between like November and then April of next year. But of course, all the pre-order links are on the bottom. But man, Man, oh man. So I have to ask the question: have you like? Is this something that you are aware of? Because this is kind of crossing over two things that you
Right.
are kind of into, right?
Right. So, I mean, yeah, my Power Ranger interest was always like was always the Sentai style.
Yeah.
But I love turtles. So I absolutely think these look great. I think the fact that they exist is amazing. I personally don't need them, but I love them. Like, no, and I don't mean that as a slam whatsoever. And
No.
you're absolutely correct. The Tommy as a foot soldier, like that makes me want a Hasbro line. Like I want them to take the master license from Playmates and make more fun their own line of fun Ninja Turtles that isn't based on the cartoon, isn't based on the toy line, you know, its own thing. And like, I mean, that April head that comes with the Pink Ranger is fantastic. But yeah, the foot soldier is great. The turtle expressions are awesome, and that Shredder, it's an awesome figure. And I love the fact that these are going to be fan channel exclusives. So they're not going to be in your regular brick and mortar retail stores, but they're still going to be easily obtainable. So you just have to order them.
Yeah, that's what I just went in on Old Faithful Big Bad and placed mine just because that's where I have all my information. I'm just so freaking lazy. Mike's yelled at me multiple times, so sorry, Mike.
It happens.
But I just like, to me personally, this is just my own personal opinion, because I've been collecting Turtles figures for now, I mean, it feels like probably about a decade or so. I don't know. I have felt that we have gotten almost everything we could possibly get for Turtles, right? So what you said hits the nail like directly on the head. I have enough of the Toon stuff, and Neca keep making it because I'm gonna just keep buying Toon versions of all the Playmate stuff that I had, and Super 7 keep doing what you're doing. But like, what really gets me excited is to see these cool crossovers. The comic book itself, it's a 5 series run. It is phenomenal. You don't have to be like all the way caught up on Power Rangers, and you don't have to be all the way caught up on like the IDW Turtles. You can just read those 5 issues, and it's just it's so good. And there's reasons for everything. I don't know. I'm assuming people were probably going to look at these figures and say like, well, why is this character this one, or why is this, you know, it all makes sense in the comic. But the real thing that I really love about this is it got me excited for a Shredder figure. Like, so, I mean, I have a few Shredders, but it's just been kind of the most boring figure for me in most of the cases. But the Green Ranger Shredder, just so cool. Again, read the comic. It makes sense. He's a badass. Shredder's always badass. He's just a bad guy, you know. But but yeah, Donnie, facial expression is amazing. Like, everything is just so good and pure about this line, and it makes me wonder. Go ahead.
I just think it's so cool because like we've talked about it before. I'm a little bit older than you guys, so but you guys. I mean, I was so excited for you because this is so cool. I mean, it really is. It's like, I wish somebody, you know, could have done this back in my day and made a Masters of the Universe G.I. Joe or something.
Oh,
you know, take 2 of my favorite things and put them together. You know, this is just so cool. That's why I love that this exists, and this whatever weird licensing thing that's going on with the Turtles that every company can get a shot at. But they all get to do their own thing. And this is so cool.
It makes me wonder, like, what more can we get? Because it seems like every time they do a comic, it just becomes a figure line. Because we had, you know, Batman and Batman and the Turtles. We had that, and then that became a whole motion picture for us. And then we had Ghostbusters and the Turtles. We had a weird, fugly looking line of Ghostbusters or Turtles as Ghostbusters, which wasn't quite necessarily the same idea. But then this crossover is amazing. Like, maybe it's part of me. I'm being, you know, a fanboy or whatnot, but they could probably mix Turtles with anything, and I'll be like, all right, I'll buy it.
Oh yeah,
you want me to buy some Master of the Universe? Turtles cross Master of the Universe.
As long as they do it and people buy it, like, that's the cool thing about all these companies doing this, because they're all doing something different. You know, I would love it. honestly, this is one of the things I'm kind of would be interested to see. You know, Hasbro has a great relationship with IDW. They did the Transformers IDW designs for years, and like Power of the Primes and Combiner Wars. So it'd be awesome to see like Hasbro do a line of the IDW figures and
Yeah,
include some of the new characters that they've done there. I mean, that would be so cool.
that's
But
cool.
who knows? I don't know how that works, but I love it that these exist. I can't wait to see if they can do more. Like,
Like
was
what
there
else?
Zords in it? Did they have
Oh,
turtle-fied Zords?
is this a spoiler? Can I just talk about it? Like there.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I don't
I mean,
care.
can there be more?
I think Wes. We were kind of talking about this in a text message. He's been mentioned now a couple times on the show. Hi Wes, if you're listening. But we were talking. He had like a list of other things that could possibly be coming out. I don't think the Zord was on there, but if that is a thing, so there's a moment. It's kind of like a Freaky Friday situation in this. If I'm trying to sell you on these 5 issues, it's like a Freaky Friday situation where the Turtles have to become Power Rangers, and then the Power Rangers kind of get inspired. They get like a hype message or a hype monologue from Splinter, and then they become like ninjas again and like go back to their roots. But yeah.
So we could probably see the Ninja Power Ranger figures.
That's what I'm
too.
thinking. Yeah, we're probably gonna get to
Okay.
Ninja Power Ranger because they had a really dope design in that, keeping the colors for each one, which was really awesome. And then it kind of just as an amazing climax towards the end of the issues. I'm sorry, spoilers. Just read it. It's 5 issues. It's so amazing. They're probably like $4 a piece. You could probably get them cheaper. But anyways,
Just get the trade on Amazon.
Exactly.
Or through our link on Entertainment Earth in the description
go.
below. I don't know. Is
There
that a
you go.
thing? Is it down there? I have no
is
idea.
there a Boom Unlimited comic thing?
Well, there actually is Comixology
Oh
Unlimited.
yeah, there we go.
And then usually a lot of Boom and IDW stuff is in there. So I'm going to look tonight. I'm going to read it. Why
there
not?
you go. It's so good. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. There is a Zord mashup with a giant metalhead.
Oh,
Let
that's
that
too cool.
sink in.
That's cool.
It is the hypest moment in comic book history. I'm calling it. I don't give a shit. But it's so cool.
Tonight it's your show.
That's true. It is my show. But yes, it is absolutely phenomenal. I'm telling you, what I'm saying is not spoiling it. Go read those issues. It's so good. But yeah, we have these amazing, beautiful figures. And again, the amazing Shredder out of it. So
yeah.
This is the only reason I wanted to come and record the show was just to talk about these. So now that I got that out.
That's awesome. That's great. I'm glad you were here for that because, like I said, I mean, they're not for me, but man, I feel the excitement and I'm happy for you.
I hope you
like
can
I
feel
do
that.
I do not understand negativity when people get mad about figures that clearly aren't for them.
Yeah.
Like they're not taken away from anything else. Like
no, it's not.
Yeah, man. This is what toys should be. They should be fun and exciting designs and stuff like that. And when I saw these, I was like, that's cool.
This is cool.
It's just all there is.
It makes me feel like a kid again when I see something like this. It gets me hyped. I'm not just unwillingly. Well, I don't want to say unwillingly. I'm giving my money willingly, but I'm not just opening my wallet and like, here you go, Neca, give me these.
Right. You don't feel like you have to.
Yeah. I feel like this is 100% like, yes, give me these.
You're excited.
Yeah. I don't know if I can reach any higher level of hype in this episode, so I guess it's probably a good time to close it if you enjoyed this sweet brisk episode. I feel it's so weird. Maybe it's Mike that's holding us up. That's why we're hours long. Sorry, Mike.
Maybe
we'll take over here from going.
We had fun. we're talking. We're having a good time.
It's that energy, man. It keeps us moving. Well, yeah. So I guess I'm gonna close out the show. So that's it for this week's Modern Toyfare news. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Jarmar, where can we find out? Where can all the wonderful people find out about you? I'm literally just reading what he wrote, guys. Sorry. I'm gonna plug my show. Why Are You a Gamer? It's a podcast on all podcast platforms out there known to man. It's a great hour-long episodes or episodic show about why we play video games. I interview great people, have great conversations. Just listen to it for that, even if you don't really care about video games. It's just a great conversation in general. And then also twitch.tv /Jarmar_games is where you can find me, where I'm going to be up to a lot of shenanigans, streaming, playing some amazing games such as Apex and whatever else games come out there. So yeah, if you want to see me play video games with like Wes and the likes of others who now mentioned about 4 times on the show, Michael, and then Jason as well, you'll get to know those guys. We have a lot of fun when we stream. So speaking of Jason, let's talk about his podcast that Michael is also a part of, called the Gimmick Minute Wrestling Podcast, where him, Michael, Jason, and this is so hard to read because it's I didn't change this at all, where Jason, Michael, Kevin shoot the shit about what's going on in the wrestling world week to week. You can, of course, support Michael the best way you can and all of these other ways. But, of course, if you want to buy some cool swag from him, t-shirts, mugs, coffee cups, that's a mug. I'm just all over the place. Go to tpublic.com and you can find the logos on everything, literally everything. A mouse pad, you need that? Get that.
I need it. Who doesn't need it?
Exactly. I don't see anything on here about you plugging your show. So go ahead and plug your show, Nate. It's coming soon sometime.
It is.
In the
it's
future.
Coming back soon, figuratively speaking. You can follow us on Fig Speak Pod, Fig Speak Podcast. I don't know. What's it say under me? Do you see it? I don't know what it says.
Fig Speak Podcast.
Yeah. Just go here. And then also check out the podcast, How Did This Get Made? I'm not on it. Famous people are. But it's really funny, and you should also listen to that.
That's it. We're out here giving suggestions for toys, suggestions for comics, movies, and now podcasts. So definitely do that. Of course, you should always like and subscribe if you, of course, want to find more toy news and more reviews. And then let us know how we did in the comments. I would love to know, like, if this combination right here was just subpar or the best. I'm going to assume it's the best.
I'm going to assume it's the best as well.
Yeah, I think we should probably get to like 400 views on this episode just because of that alone, just to make Mike
just you and I.
But of course, if you enjoy our faces, hit the bell. You'll know when live videos come up. There's also weekly Modern Monday. Oh, wait, I've read this all wrong. There are weekly Modern Monday reviews. No, that's exactly what it says. Where I, not me, Michael.
Nope, not you.
reviews new figures as they come out. We also have Wednesday night weekly purchases, which we didn't have one this week. We'll be back live on Twitch as well. We're all three.
And I'll talk about how I got this.
Oh.
Yeah, a little sneak peek there.
little sneak peek. And then on Thursdays, occasionally, there's a Throwback Thursday review where he reviews an older figure that's already been out. And, of course, Fridays is where you'll see this lovely show on the weekly news channels. However, we may be replacing this with something new coming, so stay tuned, guys.
Changes are afoot.
But of course, if you are tired of looking at our beautiful faces, which I don't understand, what is wrong with you? But maybe you don't have a way of viewing our beautiful faces and you like to listen to our beautiful voices, you can, of course, find this podcast on any podcast platform, of course, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Spotify, and other podcast apps out there. Just simply search Modern and Toyfare News. So, Spotify. With all that being said, I'm completely out of breath. It's time to wrap this up.
I can understand.
So check us out every week. Same neck. God, I destroyed it. So check us out. We will see you next week. Same toy time, same Toy Fair channel. Goodbye.